Steve here from Plants with Steve. Today, I'm walking through over 30 inches of snow to make a fire in a rocket stove so I can brew up some pine needle tea. Let's see how it goes. What I'm going to do with this is going to be my rocket stove. So I'm going to jam this part into the snow after I drill a hole in the top and a hole in the side. And then I should be able to put my pot on there. I just have to clean up this end. Okay, now that I've got the hole drilled down the center, I'm going to try to drill in from the side. The hole has now intersected the other hole. So let's see if we can get this set up and try to boil some water. Right now I'm just going to get some materials together to start the fire inside my little mini rocket stove. I've got it kind of leveled off there. I think it'll support a pot with some water on it. Getting this rocket stove going definitely took way longer than I thought it would. It might be better with a bigger log, just more square footage for the burning on the inside. The wind picked up for a little bit, which didn't help with trying to get the fire started in the log. And then it seemed to die down once I got the fire going in the log, which is when I wanted the breeze to go into the air hole in the bottom. So it was kind of, everything was working against me this time. But we'll definitely learn from this and come back, make a bigger one next time. Now that I've finally got my rocket stove going, I'm going to let this heat up a little bit and then I'll put my pot of water on so I can start my pine needle tea. For my rocket stove, I used a branch from this white pine tree here. It was already dead. As I've mentioned in other videos, a lot of conifers are very dense with their resin content, which is very flammable. So that stuff, once it does start on fire, burns really hot. And like I said, if I was going to be doing something for any prolonged period of time, I would want to use a bigger log to get this rocket stove going. But since I'm doing just a pot of water, should be okay. Okay, now that I've got my fire going, I'm gonna go and get some pine needles for my tea. What I've seen is the best pine needle tea comes from white pine. So I'm gonna go and grab some white pine needles, put them in my cup, and then I'll dump the water in there and see how it tastes. I've never tried it before. Little pine tree here, little white pine. You need about a handful, small handful, so that should do it. Okay, so I've got the pine needles in my cup. A lot of times people will pull the ends off, the hard pieces of the needle that stick to the branches. Let's see how it goes. I want to burn myself here. All right, let's let this steep for a couple minutes. And while we're doing that, I'll start to pack up some of my stuff to head out because we are losing daylight pretty quickly here. All right, so moment of truth. I've seen some people take the needles out, some people leave the needles in and just kind of drink around them. So I'm going to do that just because I don't want to fish around in there for the needles. Let's see how it tastes. Got a needle there on the first sip. It does taste kind of like you would picture sap tasting, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad though. So definitely I would do this in a survival situation. Good source of vitamin C. Definitely something I would try again. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this video making pine needle tea in the rocket stove. We'll be definitely doing this again in the future. We'll be making a bigger one, so then we can try cooking some other things on the rocket stove. Catch you on the next one.